Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Tuesday. It's Daryl here. It is not so bright and early, 7 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. I'm running behind schedule this morning. I've come down with a bit of the flu or a cold or something. No, it's not the C19. Not to give you guys too much TMI, but different symptoms. Anyway, you can't keep me down. I'm so used to doing my workout and everything. I still had to attempt to go for a walk. I'll talk about it's that I used to be over 15 years ago. I was addicted to crack cocaine and heroin, just to be blunt about it. And a lot of the people I know in recovery, not all of them, but a lot of them took that drive, that obsessive personality, and a lot of them are fantastic, productive workers and producers, and they took that energy. I did, and this is what I've done with my exercise. I'm downright obsessive about it. It's become an addiction to me, really. That's what I want to talk about today. All right, Donald Trump Jr. You guys have probably already seen this video that came out recently. Let me just say this. I can't make, my past videos, I've never really talked a lot about is suspected drug use, because I was never really sure of it. Having been an addict and having been in recovery for the last 15 years, I know what it's like to be to be accused of something that in the last 15 years that I'm no longer doing. So I was kind of hesitant to do any videos, busting his ass, even when he would go out of his way to talk about Hunter Biden. I could relate. Honestly, me and Hunter have a lot of stuff in common, both in recovery, both artists. We have a lot in common. Anyway, the latest video from Trump Jr. I'm going to talk about a few points of things I saw in that video. I'm not really even going to take him to task for the usual stupid stuff he said. He's usually a fountain of anger and hate and misinformation. But in this video, I got to the point where I recognize, without a doubt, at this point, I recognize symptoms, signs of use, particularly of cocaine and alcohol, beyond a shadow of a doubt, in my opinion. And I don't do this, if I saw a Trump supporter all decked out and Make America the MAGA headgear and the sign and everything, and I saw that guy or a woman get hit by a car or something like that, I wouldn't leave him laying on the side of the road. I just can't do that. I would help. I would do everything in my power to help the person. Even though I have a strong distaste, and even an animosity, you might say, for somebody like Trump Jr., I just can't. I can't. He's whether he knows it or not, or his fans or other people of the MAGA nation want to admit it or not. I truly believe he's suffering from the disease of drug addiction and probably alcohol too. All right, let me just hop right into this. As you can tell, this is kind of an off-the-cuff video. Like I said, I'm not gonna make fun of him. I'm just gonna point out what I saw in this video. Like I said, with the substance I used, it's a stimulant, and I remember using it to such extremes. Looking back, I'm glad that there wasn't video. I've been clean and sober for 15 years, so I didn't have a cell phone at that time, and I'm glad I didn't. I am thankful that I was not on Facebook or YouTube or any of that back when I was using, because I would have made, all the stuff that would be out there. I can't imagine the ass I would have made, the public spectacle I would have made of myself if there was that stuff then. Anyway, I recognized, if you look close in the video, you could see his jaw and his neck. And to me, it's obvious to people that have used stimulants before, particularly stimulants. This is a definite sign. It's the muscles kind of spasming. I remember on a regular basis being around people, and this is something I can't believe I was a part of. And this is it's so appalling and scary what I'm talking about here, but this is the reason why I don't want to make fun of it. It's a serious issue. But the people I used to hang out with, I regularly saw people almost not in control of their body. They would be the muscles would be spasming. They wouldn't be able to use their fingers, their muscles, their jaw. Back then we would call it geeking, tweaking, whatever. And it got to the point where people, you couldn't talk. And people that are familiar with this, though, they wouldn't know this, but at that point, people they'd still want more and more of the drug that was doing these things to their body, that was basically putting their body in a course to be hospitalized or die. It's scary. So anyway, in this video, and you could see Don Jr.'s got bloodshot eyes. He's slurring his words. He's not making, not that he usually makes a lot of sense, but he's not making a lot of particular sense in this video. But the thing that stuck out to me without a doubt was the muscle and the jaw. I've seen this literally thousands of times. And to be quite honest with you, he needs help. I don't like the guy. I have a large amount of animosity for him. He's one of the public famous people that I probably despise the most at the top of the list. I don't know, between him and his father, I don't know which one I despise the most, but it's still, like I said, if somebody was suffering from some other life-threatening ailment, like getting hit by a car, I can't make fun of it. I was going to say too, this is probably one of the best things. It sounds crazy, but him being in this video and this being public, I'll have like at least three links down below, because a lot of the news feeds were talking about this today. In this video, it's very obvious that he's got a substance abuse problem or issue. And honestly, this is one of the best things, in my opinion, that could happen to him, because an addict will not stop using on his own. The whole goal of somebody like when I was using, my goal was to cover it up, to continue doing what I was doing, to continue getting I swear, the opiate was like a girlfriend to me. It was my main relationship. I mean, it sounds terrible, but it was true. And, I would do anything, manipulate, lie. It scared me. I mean, when you start threatening to take away that drug or the alcohol, and an addict or alcoholic gets that feeling that things are going to change, they won't be able to keep up the status quo, you'll just see a crazy amount of anger and bargaining, lying. But this could be the best thing to happen to him, because hopefully it'll get to the point where somebody around him, if there is people around him that care, they'll stop enabling him and force him into recovery. That's basically, you do have to hit bottom. With me, like I've told you guys before, I was in and out of detoxes. A detox, I was you're in there for 3 to 5 days, and then you usually move to a recovery for 30, 60, 90 days. At least 13 times. It got to the point where it was like every 3 months I'd end up in the hospital for a week for the detox, another month for recovery, and within hours, I don't say this proudly, within hours of being back out, I would be using again. And nothing was working for me. And it got to the point where the hospital and the doctors all in my area, we're going to put it in my medical file that they were no longer going to let me into the detox or the hospital. They were no longer going to admit me. It was the end of the road for me. They were not going to offer me treatment anymore, because the doctors said, this isn't working. We're not going to keep doing something that's not, after 13 times. And that scared me. They called me on it, and it scared me. I got to be honest with you guys too. There's MAT, medically assisted treatment, gets a bad rap. It's got a stigma attached to it, and it really shouldn't. Methadone, Suboxone. To be honest with you guys, that without the help of those medically assisted treatment, I don't think I would have ever been able to get clean and sober. I don't mind saying that publicly out loud, because it saved my life. It gave me, after those 13 trips to the hospital, that wasn't working, I finally decided to try it. And there's the one thing that gave me a little bit of clean time to have a moment of clarity, to realize what to actually feel sobriety for a couple hours a day and decide that, oh my God, I want this. And that's what it took. So yeah, this probably might, for some people, this might not be the video you were expecting. I think it's to the point where he needs help. And I probably don't have to leave any connection. No, you guys, if any of you out there or your family feel you need help, you could text me, or you just Google drug help, and I'm sure you could find plenty of resources. You guys have a great Tuesday. I'll be back later with another video.